Man, the world has really changed over the last 2 months during this quarantine. Nothing feels like how it used to be.
Huh, New York City looks different.
Well, maybe it's not all different.
Oh.
Speaking of the world changing, I finally got to see Harley Quinn on DC Universe because, I mean, how else am I gonna watch it? Oh, holy shit, it's on TV now. I'm actually more impressed of anything that I'm actually watching a show currently running. Shit, I waited 3 seasons to watch My Hero Academia because people liked it too much. Just rubbed me the wrong way. I'm a toxic person, I don't know what you want me to say. Same thing happened to me with Gravity Falls, and now look at me, binging the first season in 3 days. Yeah, this is the point my life has reached. Now, if DC does anything right, it's their cartoons. And only their cartoons. How could someone so handsome be so bad at being Batman? The original Batman and Superman back in the 90s shipped into the early 2000s with Justice League Unlimited, Teen Titans, Static Shock, sprinkled in some quality straight-to-home video movies, mix it all together and mwah, you have a gourmet selection of comic book heroes any kid growing up would love. I mean, yeah, there were some weird ones. But today we're sitting pretty with a continuation of great DC cartoons with shows like Harley Quinn and Teen Titans Go. Yeah, I f***ing know what I said. It's my video. I get to have the opinion. You don't get to tell me what I think. It's just great. I bring all that up simply because a definitive chunk of the demographic audience are those millennials who grew up watching those old cartoons on weekends and after school. But now they're on to more mature things. And I use the word mature very loosely. If someone asked me to describe Harley Quinn, I'd be like, well, take Justice League, base it around villains, pour in some crude Adult Swim humor, and add about the same amount of blood and gore from Happy Tree Friends, and boom, you have a show. Before we get into that though, you have to ask yourself, why do people like Harley Quinn? I don't know, I just always assume it's because people have a thing for hot clown girls.
Get some help.
Harley as a character has drastically changed throughout the years, going from a domestically abused girlfriend for the Joker to an empowering independent anti-hero. Because she has this air of mystery and insanity that's intoxicating, but also completely unobtainable. She's like Deadpool. With boobs! I'm gonna get some hate for that one later, I know, but you know, who knows, maybe I'm just really attracted to hot messes. Let's look at my dating history. Yeah, that checks out. So the show picks up exactly where the DC cartoon universe has kind of left her off between being abused by the Joker and wanting to get out from under his narcissistic claws. The first season follows Harley really trying to make a name for herself as a baddie in order to join the Legion of Doom, while still fighting those internal puzzles about her life and becoming a leader. Now clearly, one cannot simply rise to the top of villainy in Gotham without some henchmen, or better yet, a crew.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Harley's crew fits her character to a T. Colorful, dysfunctional losers you want to root for. Well, most of them. Oh, who am I kidding? Dr. Psycho, how can I not root for you? Even if you have the inability to say the C word, you f***ing little nutcase. If you're familiar with the DC universe, you'll probably already know these characters, but we'll go through them anyway. Dr. Psycho is a telepath and ex-Legion of Doom member that's a terrible father and has a fetish for giant women. He's probably the most matter-of-fact person in the show.
Don't do it! Do it!
But also the butt of most jokes. But boys, most importantly, he sleeps in a race carpet. I mean, come on.
Okay, he's burning rocks, I'm out.
Then you have Clayface. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed the spin they put on Clayface for the show. Traditionally, his backstory is he was an actor before his accident, and that is still true, but the twist is, he's the worst actor ever. Like, the kind that thinks he's amazing but overcommits the wrong things all the time and just takes completely incorrect liberties on everything.
Well then,
Yes, noble god, it is I, the Aquaman!
Clayface later invites his tech-savvy friend King Shark, who's the only genuinely nice person in the show. He always has a positive outlook on everything, and you just want good things to happen to him because he's so innocent, but like, come on.
Look, if it wasn't lasers, it was gonna be lung cancer. I've never seen a mouse smoke unfiltered human-sized cigarettes to that degree.
Now, Cyborgman. Oh, God. I've been watching this show for a season and a half, and I just got that now. Cy's an ex-CIA agent, and it's just like, yeah, to be honest, I don't really like Cy. I kind of think he's just there half the time as a deus ex machina, which I get, but like, They try to make the CIA stories of his past super edgy, but most of the time I'm just sitting there like... And to round out the crew, we have Harley's best friend, Poison Ivy, who, I mean, we all know who she is. Hot green lady that controls plants, is an eco-terrorist, turns boys into men at bar mitzvah. Wait, what? I think I went to the wrong bar mitzvahs growing up. But yeah, there you go, that's Harley's crew. Arguably the best part of the show, and really most superhero shows in general. The chemistry of all of them just really fits, and it makes you think, boy, these guys are fun. Granted, not fun enough to join, or be around them, within a full mile, but fun. I mean, fuck it, let's go inside Harley's head now. I immediately regret all of this. Now, when I say that, it's not that I'm trying to undermine the story, it's just like, the show isn't trying to be revolutionary like Breaking Bad. It's a show that says, you want to laugh and follow characters with mass appeal going through a loose seasonal plotline? Well, boom, here you go. Look, I'm just saying, when I was talking about older shows, I didn't mention Batman Beyond for this exact reason. Like, in the beginning of that show, I was like, hell yeah, Terry McGinnis, you go bro, do your thing. but after a couple episodes, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sick of seeing your face, Terry. It's not that shows centralizing around a singular hero are bad, I just get bored following one character around constantly. It's a superhero show, we already know the formula. That's why I really never got into the Superman or Batman animated series nearly as much as I did the X-Men. Because with X-Men, you could have Jean and Cyclops doing something, but at the same time you could be like, holy shit, is that Wolverine in a canoe? I don't know, maybe I have a really short attention span, but I really enjoy watching rotation of characters. Granted, this thought process isn't just based around main characters. The writers do an excellent job getting you excited for when the side characters pop up as well. For example, you have Jim Gordon, who's just a shell of a man and just so emotionally needed towards Batman.
I work alone.
What about me?
Not now, Jim.
It's just a take I've never seen before.
We can lean on each other for our most intimate emotional needs.
Sure.
And then there's Bane, the gem of this show. Just like with everyone else, you have an original take on a classic design. Imagine Dark Knight Rises Bane, but make him so inept you kind of forget he's actually a villain.
Your card, the 3 of hearts.
No.
Fuck.
Precious. I mean, obviously it's not going to be a show without its flaws. There is one blaring fact that drives me up the f***ing wall. Now, this is going to be my only spoiler, and while it's a pretty mediocre one, you can skip to here if you don't want to hear it. But without a doubt, my biggest issue with the show is how they made Poison Ivy and Kite Man a thing. Now, like, I don't have an issue with Kite Man, I think he's hilarious, and obviously they want to put him in more of the plot line, but this is a big one. Poison Ivy doesn't like men. Hell, she doesn't even like humans in general for that fact. Like, I get the fact they're trying to humanize her character more, but shit, if you want to do that, you already have a canon ship between her and Harley. And I'm not trying to force an unwarranted ship. I hate doing that. Decago is true ship, don't at me. But like, come on, give the people what they want. And by people, I mean me. That aside, even with a kind of loose plot structure, it's still an extremely fun show that's very singable. Bingeable. I really should not have written the script at 3 a.m. Hopefully I'm not editing at this time too. Damn it. For me, the delivery of the jokes always land, and I'm only half disappointed in myself that I laughed at them. Half.
Nice.
I also appreciate the fact that it's not trying to be like the Academy Award-winning film Suicide Squad. God, I still hate that that's a thing. One thing I also notice that impresses me is the fact that after all of these years, the art style of these shows hasn't really changed. Granted, it's been updated, but if you watch an old DC show from like 2 decades ago and watch one now, there are only really gradual changes, and I appreciate that. It's not like Marvel shows where I'm like, boy, I wonder what I'm getting for this show. Oh. I mean, look at the art direction. You can really see the butt cheeks squeezing together. What beautiful animation. I'm over the moon with it. At the end of the day, there's some really memorable episodes that give Harley good depth and backstory and reminds you why it's called Harley Quinn. It's just the superhero show I always wanted to watch growing up. There's no slow start, which is super optimal to the pacing, and just something superhero shows always tend to struggle with. It's kind of like, hey, you're either on board or you're not. Kayla Cuoco does a great job bringing her Harley to life, honestly a lot better than I thought she would. She definitely has her own take on Harley, incorporating a new and old spin, and like, the thing is, Harley doesn't want to rule the world. She's a zany anti-hero that wants your respect. And have a highway named after her, but who doesn't?
Totally worth it. Right?
She doesn't force the batshit craziness from like the video games, which is something I've never been a fan of. All in all, it really feels like I'm watching what Louise from Bob's Burgers is gonna be like one day, which just feels right. Oh my god, wait. Is this actually the same universe? No, that one. Unless.
Eat this! No, not that part.